New York, you are being gaslit about Zohran Mamdani, and I'm going to tell you why. Zohran Mamdani's entire career has been defined by his hostility toward Israel. He has marched with pro-Hamas protesters. He supports BDS.
I think that what we need to do is ask people, will you support BDS? And frankly, not ask them, but demand that you must do this.
He founded SJP on his campus. He considers himself a democratic socialist and aligns himself with the Democratic Socialists of America, who, while October 7th was still happening, condemned Israel and encouraged their followers to join the resistance. He consistently aligns himself with fringe, tokenized Jewish groups that are anti-Israel, and only after widespread outrage at his inability to say that he believes the state of Israel should exist, he's finally started saying, I believe the state of Israel should exist as a country that follows international law, which feels conditional and also feels like his campaign manager told him he needed to get the Jewish vote. And we won't be gaslit into forgetting who he is.
Guys, we got to talk about Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani. Okay, Zohran Mamdani. This guy is a straight up communist. This is a pro-terror candidate. He's actively spoken on behalf of Hamas or failed to condemn Hamas on multiple occasions, and he's doing the same thing again today. This is a rampant anti-Semite, anti-Zionist guy. This is coming from a guy who doesn't particularly care one way or another, but I really don't want people to just be straight up anti-Jew. Like, I'm not pro-hatred. I'm just not super pro-Jew. Like, some of these people get kind of crazy with how pro-Jewish they are, but I also don't support the terrorists who are going around bombing people and threatening to bomb me. Ain't no Jewish people ever threatened to bomb me. So I'm just saying, if I had to pick a side, I'm picking the people who are not threatening to kill me and destroy my way of life in America. But this guy, Zohran Mamdani, has failed repeatedly to condemn the term globalize the Intifada, effectively destroy everybody that doesn't believe in Sharia law and definitely Western civilization. Today, even the Democrats condemn this guy. But before we get to Mr. Dollar Tree Obama, Hakeem Jeffries failing to condemn, effectively rejecting Mamdani, we got to talk about Meet the Press. We got to react to this Meet the Press clip with everybody's favorite fake news anchor, Kristen Welker, over here trying to get Mamdani, trying to throw him a bone, but he just refuses. And I'm confused because he did this during the primary as well. I'm like, how the hell does this guy get elected? It's so ridiculous. Let's go ahead and react to this.
I want to ask you about an issue that has divided some New Yorkers in recent weeks. You were recently asked about the term globalize the Intifada, if it makes you uncomfortable. In that moment, you did not condemn the phrase. Now, just so folks understand, it's a phrase that many people hear as a call to violence against Jews. There's been a lot of attention on this issue. So I want to give you an opportunity to respond here and now. Do you condemn that phrase, globalize the Intifada?
That's not language that I use. The language that I use and the language that I will continue to use to lead this city is that which speaks clearly to my intent, which is an intent grounded in a belief in universal human rights.
Basically, I'm not going to say that I agree with killing all the Jews, but I'm not going to say that other people saying it is a bad thing. But he's condemned things that Jews have said, things that Israel has done. He condemns all of that. He's down for condemning, just not when the terrorists say things.
And ultimately, that's what is the foundation of so much of my politics, the belief that freedom and justice and safety are things that, to have meaning, have to be applied to all people, and that includes Israelis and Palestinians alike.
But do you actually condemn it? I think that's the question and,
Nope.
and the outstanding issue that a number of people, both of the Jewish faith and beyond, have. Do you condemn that phase, globalize the Intifada, which a lot of people hear as a call to violence against Jews?
I've heard from many Jewish New Yorkers who have shared their concerns with me, especially in light of the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington.
Can you imagine if President Trump failed to condemn white supremacy like the 100 times that he did? They questioned if he condemned the KKK, David Duke, just white supremacy, white nationalism, and he's condemned like all of this stuff, right? I've already played the clips on this show. I'm not going to play it again, at least not in this video. If people get on my nerves enough, I'll put it in another video. But condemn. This guy condemns everything. But you got this loser, doesn't condemn any of this stuff. Globalize the Intifada. Everybody knows what that is, what that, not just what it sounds like, what it represents, okay? It's pretty clear what that represents. And this guy refuses to do it. And I'm confused about Why is it that there's such a double standard with people letting these leftist types get away with this stuff? Why is it people on the right can condemn all forms of racism and specific forms of racism, but people on the left won't do it even when asked, and nobody does anything? I'm so perplexed. Like, where's the outrage from this? This, to me, is a pretty big deal.
See, and in Boulder, Colorado, about this moment of anti-Semitism in our country and in our city. And I've heard those fears and I've had those conversations, and ultimately they are part and parcel of why in my campaign I've put forward a commitment to increase funding for anti-hate crime programming by 800%. I don't believe that the role of the mayor...
Basically, anytime you hear somebody say we're increasing funding, that basically means we're not doing anything.
...is to police speech in the manner especially of that of Donald Trump, who has put one New Yorker in jail who's just returned to his family, Mahmoud Khalil, for that very supposed crime of speech. Ultimately, what I think I need to show is the ability to not only talk about something, but to tackle it and to make clear that there's no room for anti-Semitism in this city. We have to root out that bigotry, and ultimately we do that through the actions, and that is the mayor I will be, one that protects Jewish New Yorkers and lives up to that commitment through the work that I do.
This is where I would challenge him. If you said, hey, I'm down for the genocide of Gaza, right? Like, hey, bring on the genocide, more genocide, right? Deport all the illegals. He's denounced Trump's rhetoric on that, right? Many times. He didn't have any issue with free speech and denouncing things. He's denounced all kinds of stuff, and he's specifically attacked Trump on this, especially the illegal immigration stuff, genocide in Gaza. So he didn't have these issues. He's lying. He has to be challenged with those things. So if somebody says, well, hey, deport all illegals. If somebody says, hey, I'm down with the genocide, kill them all, right? If people say that, are you okay with that? Or is it just related to globalize the Intifada? So when it's attacking Jews, you're okay with it. It's obvious, but the way that it's like he's being challenged on it, but they're not really pressing him on it. And to be honest with you, it makes me sick. Kristen Welker, you need to do better.
Quickly, for the people who care about the language and who feel really concerned by that phrase, why not just condemn it?
My concern is to start to walk down the line of language and making clear what language I believe is permissible or impermissible.
How much you want to bet he said something about Trump?
Takes me into a place similar to that of the president who is looking to do those very kinds of things, putting people in jail for writing an op-ed, putting them in jail for protesting. Ultimately, it's not language that I use. It's language I understand there are concerns about. And what I will do is showcase my vision for the city through my words and my actions.
I told y'all, this guy went through this whole interview and refused to denounce a known violent rhetoric term. Very well known. I'm sure all of you guys watching have heard this term before. For this reason, Democrats are not just stepping up to stand behind this guy. You know, you got some members of the squad, like people who have nothing to lose, like dumb behind Jamal Bowman, standing behind him. But I mean, that guy's a total loser, a literal loser. He lost his re-election bid. But Jeffries, Dollar Tree Obama here, he can't afford to do that. So while he congratulated Mamdani on his victory, he's literally acting like he's never met the guy, basically rejecting him. I'm sure at some point he's had some sort of conversation with him or heard of him or dealt with his associates or something. Maybe he just thought Cuomo was going to win. I don't know. But he's also getting on his case in rejecting the notion that you could just say globalize the Intifada is okay and not answer for it.
Donnie won a big victory. Have you endorsed him yet?
I have not. We had a conversation on Wednesday morning where I congratulated him on the campaign that he ran, a campaign that clearly was relentlessly focused on the high cost of living in New York City and the economy. He outworked, he out-communicated, and he out-organized the opposition, and that's clearly why he was successful.
So what's holding you back from endorsing him right now?
Well, we don't really know each other well. Our districts don't overlap. I have never had a substantive conversation with him.
You mentioned the diversity of your district, including a lot of Jewish constituents. Mamdani has made comments that some have said veer towards anti-Semitism. His initial statement after October 7th, he criticized the Israeli government but didn't criticize Hamas. He defended the use of the word globalize, or the phrase globalize intifada. And he even said that the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu should be arrested, or he would, if he were mayor, he would arrest Netanyahu if he visited New York City. Do these things concern you?
Globalizing the Intifada, by way of example, is not an acceptable phrase, and he's going to have to clarify his position on that as he moves forward. With respect to the Jewish communities that I represent, I think our nominee is going to have to convince folks that he is prepared to aggressively address the rise in anti-Semitism in the city of New York, which has been an unacceptable development. And any mayor, whether you're a Democratic mayor, a Republican mayor, an independent mayor, has got to commit to the safety and well-being of all of the people of the city of New York. And when there are moments of crisis and a rise in anti-Jewish hate, that's a threshold, of course, needs to be crossed.
Now, what I'm curious about is whether or not Mamdani is able to win without a lot of these kind of hardcore, these establishment Democrat types support, like Dollar Tree Obama. I mean, he's got the AOC type support. So AOC managed to win her congressional seat, and Mamdani, you know, it looks like he has gotten pretty far. So he did have some support from people like AOC, for example, but you know, how far can he really go? You know, is being the mayor, I mean, it's not the governor, right? So it's not the be all end all, but it is a pretty strong position. So it gives me pause, like, how much do you really need? Do you even need these establishment Democrats? I thought that people was acting like AIPAC was running everything. I mean, did AIPAC not put any money against Mamdani? I mean, I feel like I'm sure they did. I haven't verified before this video, but I'm curious about what the hell happened with AIPAC. They managed to get Bowman out. They managed to get Cori Bush out, you know, the two black people. But when it comes to Mamdani, you couldn't defeat the terrorists. These are the people, these people literally support the people who attacked Israel on October 7th, and you couldn't beat them? Like, I'm a little confused, but at least we don't see the Democrats stepping up to just stand behind this guy, because it's not a good look. Standing behind the person who is pro-terrorist is not a good look. So at least +1 for the Democrats today. I mean, they're at like minus a bajillion at this point. However, this is still much better of a look than how they've been looking previously, where they support every stupid idiot Democrat that runs, every stupid policy, men and women's sports, open borders, in some cases being pro-terror, free Palestine, all of this stuff is not a good look. All those people who want to free Palestine and focus on that, in my opinion, deserve to lose, because the fact of the matter is, regardless of the history, the October 7th attack against civilians in Israel, by the way, and against some Americans should not have happened, full stop. If it wouldn't have happened, they wouldn't be getting blown to freaking smithereens. They literally still, to this day, have hostages, and it makes me sick whenever people try to act like, in the genocide, free the freaking hostages. The hell? But guys, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly. Rise. I'm out.
Zohran Mamdani, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just picking up trash off the floor.
What do you think about the rent prices?
Rents have become astronomical and are pushing everyday hardworking Americans out of their homes.
What's your message to the Indian community?
The rent prices are way too high. Very big problem.
What about the black community?
I come all the way here from Uganda and they shut off my water because I don't pay. Why?
No, the African American community.
Man, I just feel like they tripping on the prices. They trying to price gouge. You know what the landlords be doing, but I ain't worried about it. I'm still Zohran Mamdani, man.
What about Gen Z?
So I understand it's not about the rent increases, but it's the feelings associated with the rent increases, and therefore we're gonna give them free therapy.
What's up with all the accents?
So it's actually called code switching, and I'm way better at it than Kamala Harris.